What if I told you that aging isn't just about the number of birthdays you've had? That the lines on your face, your energy levels, what if those aren't just set in stone by the calendar, but by what's on your plate? It turns out we have way more control over how we age than we ever thought possible.
And really, it all boils down to this one simple but kind of mind-blowing question. Can the food we choose to eat every single day actually change how our bodies age on a cellular level? Well, the science is starting to give us a pretty exciting yes.
Okay, so to really get how food fits into all of this, we first need to understand what aging even is, because scientists now see it in two completely different ways.
So on one side, you've got your chronological age, right? That's the number of candles on your cake. It is what it is. But then there's your biological age, and this is the one that matters. It's the actual age of your cells, how well they're working. And here's the kicker, you can actually change this number.
And this isn't just some abstract idea, it's totally measurable. Scientists use these amazing things called epigenetic clocks. Okay, think of it like this. If your DNA is this giant instruction manual for your body, these clocks read all the little chemical sticky notes and highlights that get added over the years. And those little notes tell the real story of how much wear and tear your cells have been through.
So the big question is, how do we slow those clocks down? Well, the fight starts deep inside our cells, against two key villains that are trying to speed up the aging process. First up, you've got these little troublemakers called free radicals. They're these unstable molecules that just go around causing chaos, damaging cells in a process called oxidative stress. You can think of it like cellular rust. And that damage, it shows up on the outside as stuff like fine lines and wrinkles. But believe me, it's happening on the inside too. And all that constant damage from free radicals leads right to our second threat, chronic inflammation. You can picture it like this quiet, smoldering fire inside your body that's always on, constantly stressing out your systems and cranking up that biological clock. It's tied to everything from skin redness to much more serious age-related issues. So how do we fight back against all this? With our first line of defense, our antioxidant army. These are amazing compounds in our food that act like your own personal security detail, neutralizing those damaging free radicals and calming that inflammation. We're talking about the rich colors in blueberries, the vibrant red in bell peppers, the vitamin C in your orange. All of these are basically cellular bodyguards.
But here's the thing, it's not just about playing defense. To really turn back the clock, we also need to give our bodies the actual raw materials to repair and rebuild themselves.
And the most important building block here is collagen. It's the main protein that acts like the scaffolding for your skin, keeping it firm and bouncy. But as we get older, our natural production of it just tanks, and that's when we start seeing wrinkles and sagging. So a huge part of the strategy is supporting our collagen.
And what's so cool is that supporting your collagen is this awesome three-part strategy. First, you can eat foods that are rich in it. Second, you give your body the vitamin C it needs to make its own collagen. And third, you use those antioxidants we talked about to protect the collagen you already have. It's this beautiful cycle where everything works together.
The other crucial building block, healthy fats. I'm talking specifically about things like omega-3s. These fats are absolutely vital for keeping our cell membrane strong, which translates to supple, hydrated skin. Plus, they are superstars at fighting that chronic inflammation. Honestly, you can just think of them as your internal moisturizer.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But does it actually really work? Well, the scientific proof is piling up, and it is getting pretty hard to ignore. Let's take a look at what the research is telling us. And this isn't just about looking younger. The Nurses' Health Study, which is this huge, long-term project, found that people who ate more berries had slower brain aging. How much slower? Well, it was equivalent to being 2.5 years younger from a cognitive standpoint. That's incredible.
And researchers are seeing this pattern everywhere. Professor Heike Bischoff-Ferrari, who was the lead author on a major European study called Do Health, pointed out that combining specific diet and lifestyle changes had the absolute biggest impact on slowing down that measurable biological age.
In fact, that same study gave us a hard number. Just 1 gram of omega-3s every day was enough to slow biological aging by 4 months over a 3-year period. And they measured this using those epigenetic clocks. This is literally turning back time on a cellular level. And what the study also found was that, omega-3s alone were great, but when they combined them with vitamin D and some simple strength training, the effect was, and I quote, even more effective. It just goes to show how all these small daily habits can stack up to make a huge difference. So, what does all of this mean for you, right now?
How do you put this amazing science into action? Well, it starts with your very next trip to the grocery store. Let's build ourselves an anti-aging pantry.
Now think of this less like a strict diet and more like a powerful upgrade to what you're already doing. By adding these foods into your life, you're just flooding your body with the exact nutrients it needs to fight damage and rebuild itself from the inside out. It's all about adding in the good stuff.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In a world full of complex health solutions and expensive treatments, what if one of the most powerful tools for a longer, healthier life has been waiting for us in the produce aisle